For centuries, knowledge has been hidden in plain sight across the sands of time. Whispers of lost civilizations, cryptic symbols, and forbidden histories have been erased or concealed. What if the truth was never lost, but hidden? Welcome to Eye of Ancient Mysteries, where the past speaks and the future listens. Sit back, open your mind, and prepare to uncover the untold secrets of our world. Let the journey begin now. Fairy Maidens. Samodivi spread horror in the Elena, Balkan. Vanga warned about them. The fairy maidens Samodivi in the Elena, Balkan blind anyone who sees them at night. Locals are convinced of this and are afraid to go outside after sunset. Elderly people believe that mythical creatures live in the region, and, according to legend, anyone who glimpses them loses their sight. Many older residents in the area have eye problems, which fuels further anxiety among the community. Even in some neighborhoods of the town of Elena, seniors with visual impairment still share the tale of the mythical beauties who rage in the nearby forests. Stories about fairy maidens in the Elena, Balkan first emerged in the 1970s, when a local man gradually lost his vision. He went to visit the prophetess Vanga at Rupai. As soon as he entered, she asked him when he had seen the Samodivi. This startled the elderly man, who admitted that indeed he had noticed a woman dressed in white on a meadow while tending his flock. Soon after, he began to lose his sight. Since then, the legend spread like wildfire through villages and quarters in the Elena, Balkan. Whenever someone develops eye problems, someone always brings up the story and mentions the Samodivi. According to locals, there were cases where elderly people lost their vision in just a few days. What terrified them most was that visits to doctors failed to identify a medical cause. Only a few such incidents were enough to foster the belief that Samodivi were behind the blindness. Animals also sense their presence. Often, when herders bring livestock home late in the evening, the guard dog behaves strangely, deepening the mystery for locals. On several occasions, animals went mad and howled late into the night. They barked at nothing, although no one else appeared in the area. Some whimpered without reason or hid themselves. According to tradition, in villages around Elena, the Samodivi choose a meadow and dance on it. Most often during a full moon, they look like specters, vague images of girls twisting their bodies in long white glowing gowns. Similar legends about Samodivi exist in the villages near Maidens. 2 or 3 years ago, locals reported the mysterious creatures had reappeared. In their belief, they emerge on the autumn equinox and dance. Locals say the greatest damage was in the village of Shishensi, where the population mysteriously began to decline. Residents claimed they frequently heard screams at night, and strange events occurred. The mystery deepened by the fact that 5 men vanished without a trace within a few years. 2 were later found, but recalled nothing from the time they were missing. Later they began remembering strange stories that made no logical sense. Villagers around Maidens still cannot shake the fear that the surrounding forests are a haunt of Samodivi searching for men. To this day, locals avoid going outside after dark. The forests are considered forbidden territory. The mystery intensified after an incident where a shepherd, late home at sunset, witnessed a Samodivi dance near the B. Nunkavada fountain. The next day, villagers visited the site and discovered the ground trodden into a ring shape. They call up tornadoes. Descriptions of the Samodivi's appearances vary among witnesses. One of the strangest accounts came from a herdsman who in 1995 witnessed a bizarre natural phenomenon accompanied by loud female laughter. The day had been calm, and suddenly a wind resembling a tornado arose. It lasted about 10 seconds and carried off all his sheep. He searched for them extensively afterward, but they were never found. If you're into paranormal stories and adventurous by nature, visit the village of Shishenci, also called Home of the Samodivi. Shishenci looks like any other Bulgarian village, quiet, sparsely populated. Located about 40 kilometers from Vidin, it is reached via a dusty, unpaved road. By day, residents go about their lives, working, chatting about local news at the pub. But by nightfall, the streets empty quickly. All 120 villagers return to their homes, lock their doors twice, draw curtains so no one can see in, and turn on all lights. The village has been gripped by icy fear every night for years, not due to burglars or thieves, but because of what they cannot see, though they hear it well. Eyewitnesses swear that shortly after 9 p.m., Shishenci is filled with piercing screams, voices of men, women, children, and wedding music. One moment the noise is heard at one end of the village, a second later it's at the other. Yet there's no one on the streets. According to an old legend passed down through generations, centuries ago wedding guests traveling to Shishenci to request a bride were ambushed by Tatars just before entering the village. They were slaughtered, and their souls allegedly never found rest, remaining in the village, locals believe. Their wails and voices are heard every night until dawn. There is no recorded proof of these restless spirits. The story is eagerly shared by villagers, but no mysterious voices have ever been captured. Locals acknowledge that years ago a teacher tried to record the events on audio tape. When they played it back, only ordinary background sounds were heard, none of the bloody wedding noises. Another tradition tells of a shepherd who one night failed to bring home his flock before dark. Suddenly he heard clamor and music, and when he turned, he saw a wedding procession approaching, the best man at the head, followed by the groom and musicians. He greeted them, and the best man offered him a jug decorated with geranium to drink in their honor. When the shepherd reached for it, he realized the other's eyes were empty and glowed red. He understood these were the restless spirits of the slain wedding guests. He crossed himself and drank from the jug, and the next morning he was found in the branches of a large tree, trembling with fear and holding a horse's head. Locals explain that a true animal like a horse cannot be affected by evil forces. Superstitions in the village go well beyond this. They say several men vanished from Shishenci. Later 2 were found, but they couldn't remember what had happened and couldn't explain where they had been. Locals believe Samodivi abducted the men. Witnesses maintain they saw beautiful tall maidens in long white gowns dancing Samodivi horo around the village fountain, arms raised to the sky. Any man who looked them in the eyes either lost his sight or went insane. The Samodivi dance lasted about 10 minutes, after which the maidens shot up into the sky one after another. Some believe the visions were not Samodivi, but extraterrestrials, explaining the disappearance of villagers too. But this mystery remains unsolved and without real evidence. Other residents explain the phenomena as poltergeist activity. Years ago, a local family discovered golden gold coins in the stump of a felled tree. After removing them, paranormal activity began in their home. Objects flew, doors opened and slammed, cups and plates fell. Mysteries in the ominous village are captivating and intriguing, sure to draw thrill seekers. Pragmatists, of course, seek rational explanations. They liken the nightly screams and voices of men, women, and children to jackals howling. But no such animals have been seen around the village.